Hey guys, this is Modelman and welcome to another episode of Modelman Animation. In my FAQ playlist, I answer the questions that you ask in the comment section of my tutorials. Today we're gonna answer this question. Today I'm going to show you how to create awesome Reels and YouTube short videos that will make you stand out from the crowd. Reels and YouTube short are two of the hottest platforms right now for sharing short form videos that can go viral and boost your online presence. They can help you gain subscribers and followers by exposing your content to a wider audience through algorithmic recommendations. In this video we're going to talk about their duration, aspect ratio, frame rate, resolution, the resolution of their thumbnail, how to create them in Moho, and how to upload them and watch them with the highest quality. Before we start, you should know that this video is based on the information that I collected in February 2024. So if this is the future and you're watching this tutorial, you should know that some of the information that I teach in this video may have changed by now. And in this tutorial, to create the video, I'm going to use Moho, and to share it, I'm going to use Android and Windows. But if you want to use other programs to create your content or use other platforms to share your content, you still can benefit from 90% of this tutorial. Another thing is that if you want to use a smartphone to upload your video, I suggest you install the latest version of YouTube and Instagram from Play Store. Alright, let's get right into it. Okay, I'm gonna start with duration of YouTube short. The shortest duration of a YouTube short on Windows is 11/30th of a second, which is approximately equal to 0.367 seconds. And the shortest duration of a YouTube short on Android is 2 seconds. And the maximum duration of a YouTube short is 60 seconds. And the recommended duration of a YouTube short depends on the topic that you choose for your video. Shorter videos are more likely to capture the attention of viewers and keep them engaged. However, if you have a compelling story or a complex topic to cover, you may need more time to deliver your message. Another thing is that on Windows, if the duration of your video is less than 0.367 seconds, uploading process will never end. Meaning that on Windows, first you're gonna see this, and after a few minutes, a few hours, or a few days, you're gonna see this. Now let's take a look at them on Android. First you'll see this, and then this. And on Android, if the duration of your video is less than 2 seconds, you will see this message that says selected video is too short. And on the other hand, if the duration of your video is more than 60 seconds, it will be uploaded as a long form video and you won't see it in YouTube Shorts tab. Now let's talk about duration of Instagram Reel. To upload a reel, the shortest duration on Windows is 4 seconds and on Android is 3/30th of a second, which is equal to 0.1 seconds. And the longest reel is 90 seconds. And when it comes to the recommended duration of an Instagram reel, we have to say it depends on the topic. Some topics such as comedy, entertainment, or education may benefit from longer reels that showcase your personality, humor, or expertise. Other topics such as beauty, fashion, or fitness may do better with shorter reels that highlight your products, tips, or skills. Also, you should know that if the duration of your video is more than 90 seconds, it will be uploaded as a long form video only in Home tab or Feed, and you won't see it in Reels tab. And if the duration of your video is less than 0.1 seconds on Android, it cannot be uploaded. And you will see this message that says something went wrong. Please try again. And finally, if the duration of your video is less than 4 seconds on Windows, it cannot be uploaded, and you will see this message that says videos must be 3 seconds or more. Let me show you. Here we want to upload a video which is less than 3 seconds, but we face this error. And believe me, it should be at least 4 seconds. Even if your video is 3 seconds long, you'll face the same error. However, for some reason here it says 3, but it's actually 4. And now it's time to talk about frame rate of YouTube Short. Frame rate simply means the number of frames that you see in each second of your animation. The minimum frame rate for YouTube Short is 2 frames per second, and the maximum frame rate for YouTube Short is 60 frames per second. And the recommended frame rate for YouTube Short is 30 frames per second. And although the minimum frame rate is 2, you should know that videos on YouTube should have at least 2 frames, which means that if you have only 1 frame, it cannot be uploaded. Also, if the frame rate is less than 2 and it is 1, again, it cannot be uploaded. And on the other hand, if the frame rate of your video is higher than 60, it can be uploaded, but its frame rate will be capped at 60. Now let's talk about frame rate of Instagram Reel. The lowest frame rate for Instagram Reel is 3 frames per second, and the maximum and the recommended frame rate of an Instagram Reel is 30 frames per second. And you should know that videos on Instagram should have at least 3 frames, unless you won't be able to upload them. According to Instagram's official website, the minimum frame rate of Instagram Reels is 30, but when you want to upload a video, even 3 frames per second is acceptable. However, since it is lower than the minimum told by the official website, it'll have less chance to appear in Reels tab. And if the frame rate of your video is 2, the video will be shown as a frozen frame. And if the frame rate of your video is 1, it cannot be uploaded and you'll see this message that says something went wrong. Please try again. And on the other hand, if the frame rate of your video is higher than 30, it can be uploaded, but its frame rate will be capped at 30. The next requirement is aspect ratio. Aspect ratio refers to the proportional relationship between the width and the height of your video. It's typically expressed as width colon height, or the result of width divided by height. The higher the aspect ratio, the wider your video will be, while the lower the aspect ratio, the taller it will be. For YouTube Shorts, the minimum aspect ratio is 132, which is equal to 0.03125, and the maximum aspect ratio is 1:1, which is equal to 1, and the recommended aspect ratio is 9:16, which is equal to 0.5625. Note that if the aspect ratio of your video is taller than 132, uploading process will never end. And if the aspect ratio of your video is wider than 1, it'll be uploaded as a long form video and you won't see it in Shorts tab. Also, you should know that 132 works for all acceptable resolutions, but you can have taller aspect ratios than 132. In fact, the longer your width is, the taller your aspect ratio can be. For instance, if the width of your video is 50 pixels, your aspect ratio can be 133. And if the width of your video is 30 pixels, your aspect ratio can be 134. And if the width of your video is 25 pixels, your aspect ratio can be even 135, which is the tallest possible aspect ratio for a YouTube short. Next, we have aspect ratio of Instagram Reel. The minimum aspect ratio for an Instagram Reel is 9:16, which is equal to 0.5625, and the maximum aspect ratio for an Instagram Reel is 1.911, which is equal to 1.91, and the recommended aspect ratio for an Instagram Reel is again 9:16, which is equal to 0.5625. Before we talk about some important points, you should know that we have something called codec. Actually, when you want to create a video with a software like Moho or Premiere, or when you want to record a video using your smartphone, the software compresses the data of your video into a file while maintaining its quality. The way the software or your recorder compresses the data is called codec. Some codecs are supported by your smartphone while others are not. So if the aspect ratio of your video is taller than 9:16 and the codec of your video is supported by your smartphone, your video will be cropped to 9:16. For example, the videos recorded by the screen recorder of your smartphone are supported by your smartphone. So you can upload them on Instagram as Reels, but they'll be cropped to 9:16. And if the aspect ratio of your video is taller than 9:16 and the codec of your video is not supported by your smartphone, it won't be uploaded and you'll see this message that says something went wrong. Please try again. For example, the codec of videos created in Moho is MPEG-4 and the codec of videos created by Android is usually H.264. Therefore, the videos created by Moho that are taller than 9:16 cannot be uploaded on Instagram. But actually, you can do something about it. When you want to export your video, you can choose this preset, MP4H265 AAC, which can be supported by your smartphone. And you should also know that if the aspect ratio of your video is wider than 1.91, it'll be uploaded as a long form video only in Home tab or Feed, and you won't be able to see it in Reels tab. And next, we have resolution of YouTube short. First, let me give you a simple definition for resolution. As you know, every frame of your video is created based on pixels. We have some pixels in the x-axis, which make the width of our frames, and we have some pixels in the y-axis, which make the height of our frames. The resolution of a video is the number of pixels that we have for the width and the height of each frame. So it's not just a number, it's width times height. But to make it simpler, sometimes we call them by their height, like 144p, 240p, 360p, 480p, 720p, and 1080p. So in these examples, P stands for pixel. And if we go higher than 1080p, we use K. So then we have 2K, 4K, 8K, and maybe in the future we'll have resolutions higher than that. But that's how far we've come so far. And it's better for you to know that K here stands for kilo. For example, in 4K, because the width is very close to 4000, we call it 4000, 4 kilo, 4K, you know? And although we use the letter K to call some of the resolutions by their width, we can also call them by their height. So for example, instead of 8K, we can say 4320p. Instead of 4K, we can say 2160p. And instead of 2K, we can say 1440p. And we also have some other names for resolution. For example, until mid-2000s, resolutions like 480p and 360p were considered as the main standard, and they were commonly accepted and widely used at the time. So that's why we still call them SD, which stands for standard definition. And then we call 720p HD, which stands for high definition. We use the word high here to show that it provides a higher level of visual clarity and detail compared to SD resolutions. On the other hand, for resolutions like 144p and 240p, we use the term LD, which stands for low definition. The word low here shows that the quality of them is lower than the others. Next, for 1080p, we use Full HD. Here we use the word full to distinguish Full HD resolution from HD resolution because it's full high definition and it has more pixels and quality. And next, for 1440p, we have QHD, which stands for Quad High Definition. Here, quad means 4. We use it because QHD resolution is 4 times bigger than HD. And next we have 4K and 8K. For both of them we use Ultra HD, or you can just say UHD. We use the word Ultra here to show that these two resolutions are extremely larger than the others. And although some people prefer to use the term UHD too for calling 8K, it's not very common to use this term. Another thing is that generally whenever we mention one of these resolutions, we assume that their aspect ratio is 16:9, just like most long-form videos on Instagram and YouTube. But as I said, for aspect ratio for Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, we have to make this aspect ratio vertical. Therefore, instead of 16:9 aspect ratio, we use 9:16 aspect ratio. As you can see here, we switched height and width. So if we switch the height and the width of these resolutions, we'll have the vertical versions of them. Therefore, we can have vertical LD, vertical SD, vertical HD, vertical Full HD, vertical 2K, vertical 4K, and vertical 8K. Now coming back to resolution of YouTube short. The lowest resolution of a YouTube short is 25 × 25, while the highest resolution of a YouTube short is vertical 8K, which is equal to 4320 × 7680. And the recommended resolution of a YouTube short is vertical Full HD, which is equal to 1080 × 1920. Note that if your device doesn't support 8K videos, your 8K video will be uploaded as a 4K video, which is 2160 × 3840. And if the resolution of your video is lower than 25 × 25, uploading process will never end. And also you should know that the reason why 4K or 8K is not recommended is that they require downloading more data for the users who choose to watch videos with the highest quality. And the next point is that on Android, if the codec of your video is not supported by your smartphone, you still can upload your video, but you'll see this message that says unable to preview the video. Also in this case, you will never have the chance to select a thumbnail for your video. And then we have resolution of Instagram Reel. The lowest resolution for an Instagram Reel is 720 × 1376, and the maximum and the recommended resolution for an Instagram Reel is vertical Full HD, which is equal to 1080 × 1920. Note that if the resolution of your video is lower than 720 × 1376, it will be uploaded as a long form video only in Home tab or Feed, and you won't see it in Reels tab. In fact, the lowest resolution of a project in Moho is 8x8, and although 8x8 is acceptable for long-form videos in home tab or feed, resolutions lower than 30x30 will be uploaded with a green line next to them. And on the other hand, if the resolution of your video is higher than 1080x1920 and the codec of the video is supported by your device, your video will be uploaded. Therefore, 4K and 8K are also acceptable in this case, but they'll require downloading more data for the users who choose to watch videos with the highest quality. For example, if you want to use Moho to upload a 4K reel or 8K reel, you have to change your preset to MP4 H256 AAC. And when it comes to thumbnail for YouTube Shorts, on Windows there is no way to select a thumbnail, and on Android its resolution is always the same as the resolution of your video. And what about cover on Instagram? On Windows, the best resolution is 1080 pixels times 1920 pixels. And again, on Android, the best resolution is 1080 pixels times 1920 pixels. And now it's time to set up a project for YouTube Short and Instagram Reel. Let's start with duration. On top of the timeline, the numbers that you see are your frame numbers. And below it, the numbers that you see are actually your duration based on second. In Moho, no matter what your start frame is, Moho always consider frame 1 as your start frame to show you these durations. So when we see 2 here, for example, it means that if our start frame is 1 and our end frame is 48, our video will be exactly 2 seconds. And also, Moho has another way to show you the duration. If you go to Edit and then click on Preferences and then click on Timeline tab, you'll see an option called Use SMPTE timecode. You can check it and click on OK. And now we have the duration in this format: hours, minutes, seconds, frames. And when you change it to SMPTE timecode, there is a small bug in Moho with your current frame. As you can see, your current frame is still based on frame number instead of SMPTE timecode. But don't worry, there is a solution. You just have to move your playhead and that's it. Now you can see everything in SMPTE timecode. And one more thing is that if you do the reverse and go to Preferences and Timeline tab and uncheck SMPTE timecode and click on OK, you'll still face the same bug, and again you just have to move your playhead to fix it. Now let me give you more information about SMPTE timecode. The term SMPTE stands for Society of Motion Picture and Television Engineers. It's the name of an organization that sets standards for the film and TV industry. And one of their standards is SMPTE timecode, which, as I said, is a system that labels each frame of your video with a unique number that indicates hour, minute, second, and frame. Before SMPTE timecode, editors had to mark the tape with grease pencil to locate the frames they wanted to edit. This was very time consuming and inaccurate, and it often damaged the tape. SMPTE timecode solved this problem by providing a precise and consistent way of locating and referencing the frames. Another thing is that when it comes to creating a video, whether you use frame number or SMPTE timecode, there is a problem with understanding the actual duration of your video. Take Adobe Premiere Pro as an example. In Adobe Premiere Pro, by default your start frame is 0, or in other words, 0 hours, 0 minutes, 0 seconds, and 0 frames. And let's say your frame rate is 30. So if you want to finish at 1 second, you should render your video from frame 1 to 29 plus frame 30, which we write it like this, plus frame 0. And as you can see, together we have 31 frames. And you know that when the frame rate of your video is 30, to have a 1 second video, you have to have 30 frames. So in this case, because you have more than 30 frames, your video will be more than a second. So in Premiere Pro, setting your end frame to 1 does not make your video 1 second long. Therefore, in Premiere Pro, your last frame is not equal to your duration, because frame 0 is also a part of your video. On the other hand, in Moho, by default, your start frame is 1 instead of 0. So we don't have the same problem in Moho, and for example, if you set the end frame of your video to 1 second, your video will be actually 1 second long. But since Moho always calculates the duration from frame 1, if you set your start frame to something other than 1, you have to calculate the actual duration by yourself, which is absolutely hard. The good news is I created a software to help you with these problems. It's called FitFrame, and it's only 4 megabytes and free to download. Actually, you can download it now. The download link is in description. After downloading it, you extract it and double click on this file to open it. And let's say we want to create a video in Moho and our frame rate is 30 frames per second and our start frame is 5. And in the first step, you can set a duration for your video by dragging on these input boxes. Rather than dragging, you can also click and type. If you set your duration to 0, it will tell you that you have no duration. And if you type a wrong character, it will tell you that you only can type a number. Also, if you try to type too many characters, it will tell you that the current characters are enough. To confirm your number, you can hit enter or just click outside of your input box. And on the right side, we have some presets as well. So let's say we want to create this video for YouTube short. In this case, we have to select YouTube short. And as you can see now, the duration is the maximum duration of a YouTube short. And a cool feature is that if you change the number manually, the software will automatically recognize that preset. In the next step, you have to set your frame rate. To do that, you can either drag on the input box, click and type, or choose a preset. In this case, I'm going to choose 30, and in the next step, we have to set our start frame. In Moho by default, it's 1, and in Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe After Effects, it's 0. But since in this example, our start frame is 5, we have to drag or type it manually. And finally, here you can see the frame number of your last frame, and here you can see the SMPTE timecode of it. And here we have some buttons to copy them, so you can use this one for Moho. You just copy it and paste it here. You just have to hit Ctrl V. And you can use this one for Adobe Premiere Pro and Adobe After Effects. First you click on here, then you hit Ctrl V, and then you hit enter. And in this corner, we have an option to change the theme. Actually, the current theme is the same as Moho 13 and 14, but if you click on this option, your theme will be the same as Moho 12. And you can see some ants walking on top of headings. I added them for fun. If you click on them, you can stun them. And finally, we have a reset button in this corner. You can click on it to reset the software. And there is a link on top that by clicking on it, you can go to my channel. As you can see, FitFrame is very helpful when it comes to social media uploads. Now, coming back to Moho, we're gonna learn how to set start frame and end frame with an example. Here I created an animation in Moho. Let me play it for you. Okay, if I want to set start frame for this project, one way is that I can hold down the Alt key and left click on top of the timeline, like this. The highlighted area on top of the timeline shows us the area between the start frame and the end frame, which means that now the start frame is here, frame 8. To set your end frame, you can hold down the Alt key and right click on top of the timeline, like this. As you can see now, the end frame is 69. You can also change the end frame by dragging on this input box like this, and also you can click and type a number like 54. Now if I hit enter or click outside of this input box like this, my end frame will be 54. Another way is that you can go to File and choose Project Settings, or you can use its shortcut, Ctrl-Shift-P. If I click on this option, a window will show up, and now I can use these two options to set my start frame and my end frame. But before we change anything, it's good to know that if you want to reset everything in this window, you can click on Restore Defaults. I want my start frame to be 1, and I want my end frame to be 72. Let me click outside of this input box to confirm the number. And up here we can set width, height, and frame rate. Also we have some presets up here. But since all these resolutions are horizontal, we can't use them for Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts. So we have to set our resolution manually. But the thing is, as long as this option is checked, if you change width, the height will change automatically, and vice versa. If you change height, the width will change automatically. So this option fixes the aspect ratio of your project. We can uncheck it to set a value for our width and our height individually. First, I'm gonna start with width. Since I want my resolution to be vertical HD, I need my width to be 1080. And for height, I'm gonna type 1920. And the best frame rate is 30. So I'm gonna type 30 here. Then I click outside of this input box to confirm my frame rate. And then I click on OK. Now you can see that the output border is a vertical rectangle. To see your output only and hide the outside of it, you can go to View and click on Show Output Only. Or you can use its shortcut, Ctrl-J. I'm gonna click on this option, and now we can only see the area inside our output border. And sometimes before you export your project, you need to correct the position of your entire project without creating a new keyframe. In that case, you can go to frame 0, minimize all your groups in layers window, then using Ctrl or Shift, you select all your layers, and then you right click on one of them and choose group with selection. Now we have our entire project in one group. To confirm its name, I'm gonna hit enter. And now if you hit M or choose transform layer tool, you can change the position of your project. But I think my previous position was perfect. I just showed this to you as an example. So I'm gonna click on reset here to reset my position. Now it's time to export my project. To export it, I go to File, and then I click on Export Animation, or you can use Ctrl E. I'm gonna click on it. If you changed these settings before and you want to reset them all, you can click on here and choose Factory Defaults to reset all options. And first, let's take a look at up here. Using these two options, you can set your start frame and end frame to export your video. And because we have 72 frames, the duration is less than 4 seconds. And as I said, on Windows, videos that are less than 4 seconds cannot be uploaded on Instagram. Therefore, if we export this video, we cannot upload it on Instagram using Windows. So for now, we just export this video to upload it as a YouTube short on Android, and as a YouTube short on Windows, and as an Instagram reel on Android. Then after exporting this video, I'll show you how to export this project for uploading it as an Instagram reel on Windows. So for now, let's just leave these two values as they are. And also you have to make sure your format is video and your preset is MP4, MPEG-4 AAC. And from here, you can choose a name for your video. I'm gonna type C Beast. And then from here, you can choose an address to export your video. I'm gonna click on choose folder and go to my favorite folder. And then I click on select folder. And now that I chose my address, it's time to export this video. I'm gonna click on OK and wait for Moho to export my project. Your render time depends on the types and the number of your effects, the number of frames, your CPU, and your resolution. Alright, now we're gonna export the same project to upload it as an Instagram reel on Windows. Before I show you how to export it, you need to know that on Instagram we have two sections for reels. You can see a reel section in your account on Windows, and on Android it's right here. All videos that you upload on Instagram will be shown in this section. And we also have a Reels tab right here, and on Android it's here. And in order to see your video in Reels tab, you should have the correct duration, frame rate, aspect ratio, and resolution that I showed to you in the tables at the beginning of the video. Coming back to uploading a video on Instagram using Windows. As I said, to upload a video on Instagram using Windows, our duration should be at least 4 seconds. So I'm gonna hold down the Alt key and then I right click on the frame 120, which is duration is 4 seconds. After that, I hit Ctrl E to export. And then I change my preset to MP4 H265 AAC. After you export it, to upload it you go to Create, click on Post and choose Select from Computer. Here you can either double click on your file or select it and click on Open. And don't worry about the purple bug, it's nothing. After you upload your video, you're not gonna see these purple frames. And that's it, this is how you can upload a video created by Moho on Instagram using Windows. Alright, the next topic that I'm gonna talk about is that how to upload a video with the highest quality. Well, before I answer this question, you need to know that as soon as you upload a video on YouTube or Instagram, you cannot change its quality anymore. So for example, let's say you uploaded a 4K video on YouTube or Instagram. So after you upload it, you cannot change its quality to 8K or Full HD. There is no way. To upload a video for YouTube Short on Windows with the highest quality, there are two things that you should do. First, your video itself should have the highest quality, and second, your system should support that quality, which means that you should be able to play the video with that quality on your Windows. If your system does not support that quality, your video will probably be uploaded with less quality than its original quality. For example, if the resolution of the monitor of your laptop is 4K, you cannot upload an 8K video with it. If you try to upload an 8K video with it, it will be uploaded as a 4K video. And what about uploading a video for YouTube Short on Android with the highest quality? Well, in this case again, you have to do two things. First, you have to allow your YouTube application to upload your videos with the highest quality. And second, your device should support that quality, which again means that you should be able to play the video with that quality on your device. If your device does not support that quality, your video will be uploaded with less quality than its original quality. For example, if the resolution of your device is 4K, you cannot upload an 8K video with it. If you try to upload an 8K video with it, it will be uploaded as a 4K video. But how can we allow YouTube application to upload our videos with the highest quality? Well, first you have to go to your YouTube channel, then you tap on the gear icon. After that, first it's better to take a look at data saving. Then you have to make sure these options are off. So if they're on, turn them off, unless leave them as they are. Then you go back and tap on video quality preferences, and then you have to check higher picture quality for both mobile networks and Wi-Fi. This way your videos will be uploaded with the highest quality on YouTube. To upload a video as an Instagram reel with the highest quality on Windows, there is only one thing that you should do, and that is your video itself should have the highest quality. And to upload a video as an Instagram reel with the highest quality on Android, first you should allow your Instagram application to upload videos with the highest quality, and second, your video itself should have the highest quality. Now let me show you how you can allow your Instagram application to upload your videos with the highest quality. To do that, first you go to your Instagram account, then you tap on this hamburger icon. After that, you should swipe up and up until you reach this option, data usage and media quality. You tap on it, and after that, here you have to make sure upload at highest quality is on. This way you can make sure your videos will be uploaded with the highest quality on Instagram. And the next question is that how to select a thumbnail for a YouTube short on Windows. Actually, when you open your YouTube Studio and you click on create and then you click on upload videos and choose select files and select your file and open it, after writing your details, in the thumbnail section, you'll see this message that says for now, you can't change the thumbnail of your short. So there is no way to select a thumbnail for your YouTube short on Windows. And the next question is how to select a thumbnail for YouTube short on Android. The answer is when you tap on the plus icon, tap on your video, tap on next, and tap on next again. You can tap on this pencil icon and choose a frame of your video as your thumbnail. Also, you should know that this is the only way to select a thumbnail for YouTube short on Android. So you cannot select an image from your storage as your thumbnail. And the next question is how to select the cover for Instagram Reel on Windows. The answer is when you go to your Instagram account and click on create and post and click on select from computer and select your file and click on open, set your aspect ratio to original and then click on next. You can either drag on your frames to select one of your frames as your cover or click on select from computer to select an image from your computer as your cover. And the next question is how to select the cover for Instagram Reel on Android. The answer is when you go to your Instagram account and you tap on the plus icon, tap on your video, tap on next, and then tap on next again. You can tap on the edit cover and then you can either drag to select a frame of your video as your cover, or you can tap on add from camera roll to select an image from your storage as your cover. The next question is that how to watch a YouTube short on Windows with the highest quality. First, you have to open a video on YouTube that has a very high quality, like this video of mine that is 4K. Then you have to click on the gear icon, and then you click on quality, and then you have to choose the highest quality, 4K. From now on, you can watch all your YouTube shorts with the highest quality. And the next question is that how to watch a YouTube short on Android with the highest quality. It's pretty much the same as uploading a video with the highest quality. You go to your channel, tap on the gear icon, find data saving, tap on it, make sure these options are off. Then you go back, find video quality preferences, and then you tap on it. And finally, you have to check higher picture quality for mobile networks and Wi-Fi. After that, your YouTube shorts can be played with the highest quality. And the next question is that how to watch an Instagram reel on Windows with the highest quality. Well, it's just a matter of network connection. Having a high download speed will do the work. It's as simple as that. And the last question is how to watch an Instagram reel on Android with the highest quality. To do that, first you have to go to your Instagram account, then you tap on hamburger icon. After that, you have to swipe up and up until you see this option, data usage and media quality, and then you have to make sure data saver is off. That's it, guys. If you have any question, you can ask me in the comment section. I choose the best ones for this playlist and I answer them in a video like this. I'll be glad if you like and share, subscribe for more videos, and see you in the next episode.